Man versus machine. That is what cricket.com is asking us to do. It is their Criclytics up against the carbon-based life form that is WasimJaffer. Today we are going to preview the final ODI. India, England, all that sort of stuff. WasimJaffer, how excited are you about this 1-1?
Very excited. I think it's going to be a super Sunday, 1-1. Two number one and number two teams contesting against each other will be an exciting game. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, the last ODI, which I always think sounds a little bit like a Tom Cruise movie that went straight to video. But let's get straight into the action, my man. Batsman. Now, something miraculous has happened in this series. Johnny Bairstow's form has pushed him, according to Criclytics, to be more likely to be the top scorer. Do you see Bairstow as the top scorer, or have you got someone else in mind?
I would go with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, I would say, both of them, because I'm hoping that both of them going to fire. Johnny Bairstow has been fantastic in the last two ODIs, but I think law of averages, I'm hoping that I'm going to get to him. Rohit Sharma hasn't fired, so I'm hoping that he's going to fire in the game that matters.
Yeah, there's actually been a couple of big name players. If you think about it, Rohit Sharma and Jos Buttler haven't really got going at the moment, and I'm sure a lot of them were in fantasy teams all around the world. And so they're both due. Jos Buttler, he basically didn't bat the other day, did he? He was in and out so fast.
Yeah, he did. I mean, Jos Buttler had a very quiet series, so he's another guy that India will be fearing because they all know what he can do and how destructive he can be later in the order. So he's the guy who's again, he's up for some runs.
And Rajasthan will be hoping that all their English players get into form now that Ben Stokes has. So they'll be hoping for Jos Buttler to smash the ball around a little bit. And I suppose that does take us to Wicketkeepers. Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul both have the same amount of points according to Criclytics. So the same sort of prediction. We know that KL Rahul won't take the gloves. But we know that Rishabh Pant will take the gloves. But we don't know, I suppose, if KL Rahul can continue this incredible form he's been in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that he's had like we said last time that he had a very quiet T20 series, and now it's a time for him to make up. And he also has a tendency of going at a steady run. But once he gets into form, he's quite consistent. So and the wickets look really nice to bat on, and he bats at number 4. He gets plenty of time.
So your pick for wicketkeeper is KL Rahul.
Yeah, Rahul, I would say, but obviously Rishabh Pant's going to be a wicketkeeper. And number 4 and 5, definitely Rishabh Pant's going to get a lot of overs to bat also, and he's also very destructive. So I'm going slightly with Rishabh Pant at the moment.
Oh, I like it. All-rounder. The Criclytics model is a big fan of Ben Stokes. That's probably because he just smashed 99 off about 8 balls in the previous game. But it also likes Krunal Pandya. Who's your all-rounder choice for this game?
I would go with Ben Stokes, definitely. I think because, the kind of game and impact does he have as a batter and as a bowler. Krunal Pandya, like we said, he bats number 6. So don't know with the strong batting lineup how many overs he's going to get. He hasn't been as much in form with the bowling also. He hasn't made much impact with the bowling. So Ben Stokes, the kind of form that he's stuck now, and he's going to bowl these 10 overs. So Ben Stokes is my choice.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many overs he bowls, Ben Stokes. But one thing we know about Ben Stokes is he's had one good game with the bat and one good game with the ball so far. So he's certainly helping there. The interesting thing is that Criclytics has gone a little bit cold on Hardik Pandya. Now, you and I think we've already talked about this, but neither of us can quite work out why Hardik Pandya is not bowling. In both games, we have seen periods where it has looked like the Indian frontline bowlers probably needed a break, or they needed some more variety, or to try something else. And they just haven't gone with Hardik Pandya. And look, they might be saying you can't bowl 10 overs, but he hasn't even bowled 2 or 3 yet. It's a really, really bizarre thing, isn't it?
It is, and he has a knack of picking of wickets, knack of breaking partnerships. So, and he has a lot of variations. He's got different balls. He hits the pitch really hard. He has those slow balls, and he can surprise batters with his odd bouncers as well. So I'm really surprised Virat hasn't gone to him at all in the second ODI.
And bowler, you will be shocked to know, WasimJaffer, that again, the Criclytics model likes Adil Rashid, as it has for every single game. Just behind Adil Rashid in their picks is Shardul Thakur and Tom Curran. Who's your bowler? Who do you think's the bowler who's going to have the most impact here?
I think Adil Rashid hasn't made much impact. I mean, the Indians have batted really well against him. They haven't, for both the games, he's got nearly 65 to 70 runs in 10 overs, only picked one wicket each. So I think Indians have batted pretty well. Even Tom Curran as well. He hasn't looked that impressive. The guy who really impressed me was Reece Topley. He bowled really well. He swung the ball. He got a bit of pace and bit of bounce and troubled the batsman early on. So he would be my choice from the England side. And I would go with Shardul again, just because he has the ability to pick wickets. So those probably two would be my choice.
Yeah, very interesting. Let's talk about the spinner for a minute. So I'm going to give you your 60 seconds here. Who should India's spinner be for this one-day international? WasimJaffer, your time starts now.
I think the obvious ones would be to get Chahal in for Kuldeep, because I think Kuldeep hasn't made much impact, and I think the English guys have sorted him out. They played him really well, even though he bowled in both the games. He bowled when there was dew, and there wasn't much help with the pitch as well. I mean, he hasn't bowled in the first half. That's the only argument we can have. But I think he's not that effective. So coming in, Chahal probably will get more purchase as a leg spinner. I think that's the obvious one. I would like to see Washington Sundar as well coming into the side, but again, that's a question mark. Having two really new spinner coming in and playing in a must-win game, so I would stick with Krunal, and I would go with Yajwinder Chahal for Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, I think Criclytics are going to find it very hard to argue against that Kuldeep has to be rested. Since the start of 2019, he's averaging 41. Before that, he was averaging 20. He's putting on an extra run per over in his economy rate. He used to take 2 wickets per game. He's now taking 1.2 wickets a game. Everything is suggesting that he needs a break. He probably needs to go off and think about his cricket a little bit. Maybe play some more domestic cricket. Maybe play some India A, work with Rahul Dravid and those sorts of people. Right at the moment, the only thing I would differ is I'm not sure that Chahal is that much of an improvement. I'd like to see them go with Washington Sundar and just back their batting a little bit more. And I don't think any of their wrist spinners are going to take a lot of wickets either way. So that would be my only suggestion. But absolutely no doubt there that I think Kuldeep Yadav just needs a break. And I think we both agree on that one.
I think so. I think having both. I mean, ideally, if India wins the toss, they're going to field first, and that gives them a good chance to restrict the team and then chase down the score because the dew comes in. So in those conditions, if Washington plays, that's okay. But I think when you're chasing, then having two finger spinners, then it becomes really easy for the batters. So, and Chahal has those experience of bowling even in power play. And he has, again, that knack of picking up wickets. So you want to go with the wicket takers who can pick 3-4 wickets. So that's my obvious debate about it.
No, that's fair enough. Obviously, Criclytics is right and you're wrong. But other than that, I completely agree with you. Let's get on to your fantasy pick. Who do you think? Who's your man for this particular game?
I would again go with Rohit Sharma, Jared, because he hasn't fired for the 2 games, and the big one is probably around the corner, and it's a series decider. And Rohit Sharma can't go without having a big one before the series finishes, and he would be my captain of my fantasy team as well.
Sorry, you say you wanted him captain of the Indian team. Is that what I heard?
No, if I have to pick my fantasy team,
our fantasy team. Whew. Oh, I thought we had a headline there. Rohit Sharma, yeah, definitely worth a go there for the double points. I'm going to go with someone you mentioned earlier, actually. I'm going to go with Reece Topley. I think that Reece Topley bowled very well. I think they'll give him another game to see how he goes. And he also, they didn't bowl him out the other night. I think they might bowl him out this time just to test him a little bit more. It's also probably worth looking at Chahal for your fantasy teams, everyone, because if Kuldeep is going to be dropped, Chahal is the most likely replacement. So, keep an eye on that. But that's the end for us from our fantasy and our Criclytics and our cricket.com stuff. But it's okay, because we have one last thing here. We have the Goody Bag. We're going to do a contest simple as I can make it. Winning margin. And by simple as I can make it, what I mean is you have to decide on whether the team is going to win if they're batting first or batting second. So you have to decide if the winning margin is in runs or in balls to spare. WasimJaffer, I don't want to know who's going to win this game. I want to know how much they're going to win this game by.
I would say probably I see the team batting second winning. So probably by 20 to 25 balls.
25. 25 is your final number. I am going to say that there will be 0 balls to spare. They will win off the last ball. This will come down right to the end, just because obviously that would be a lot more fun. So if you want to win it, in the comments below, put in the margin of runs if you think it's going to be runs, or the balls to spare if you think it's going to be that way. Put them in. The first person to get the closest wins the goodie bag from cricket.com. It's a magical thing full of goodies, and it's a bag, so you can hold the goodies in the bag. Oh, it's great. You're going to love it. I don't know what's in it, but I've been told. I had a look at the Criclytics numbers. I think maybe they just put the algorithm in the back. I don't know. But you can win this if you want. So put your answers in the comments below. Also, subscribe, like, share, and download the app. And if you are a fantasy player especially, the app and the Criclytics, me and Wasim, we put it to the test in this series so far. We're big fans of what they're doing over at cricket.com. So if you want to have a little bit more help when you're looking at cricket, look, let's be honest. You either want to win your fantasy team or you want to make your uncle look a little bit more stupid than you do, right? But in both cases, the cricket.com app will help you do that, and it'll make you a smarter cricket fan. Download it, have fun, comment, and we'll see you after the last ODI.